Welcome back to another amazing episode of Round to the Knight's Table. I'm Jim.
I'm Eric.
And today we're going to talk about extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. You know, the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie. This film is about a boy. No. This film is about Ted Bundy.
I mean, really. So this is about when Ted Bundy goes to court, and it sweeps the 70s America when his girlfriend tips off the cops to him being likened to a sketch that was on the news.
It really just centers around the courtroom.
Yeah, like the
and
whole
his
legal
time
aspect
in jail, yeah. It's more about the legal aspect than it is the killings. You don't see any of that throughout most of the movie.
Yeah. I think it's trying to give you like the girlfriend's side of it, and
as where she kind of fell for it, or she didn't know,
but she was supporting him the entire time, just about.
Yeah.
I mean, not quite as supportive as that stalker,
who ends up having a baby with him because let's let these people reproduce. Mm-hmm. Zac Efron stars as Ted Bundy. Let's talk about the good.
Let's do it.
Zac Efron did a good job playing Ted Bundy. My wife had just watched the documentary and she was like, yeah, that's pretty spot on for what it was.
He was playing the good-looking guy who was charismatic and, getting all the women on his side and being a smart aleck to all the lawyers and the judge and the cops and all that.
Just thought he was smarter than everyone else. I mean, that's why he didn't get into a good law school. It premiered at Sundance. Netflix bought it, so it's technically a Netflix original movie. So since it's a Netflix original movie, you know who's popping up in this. John Malkovich. Dude, blink twice if you're all right. Let me know. He has to be in every Netflix original movie.
I wonder if Adam Sandler got him in his deal.
Jim Parsons pops up in this. And then so did Haley Joel Osment, who ate Haley Joel Osment.
I'm not one to talk.
I am, but I mean, I
feel bad for saying that. I thought he actually did a pretty good job in this movie.
He's a good actor,
I mean, back on the rise.
You know who shows up in this movie? James Hetfield, lead singer of Metallica. He's one of the cops that pulls him over.
Is he?
Yeah. He said, sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle and exit line. His girlfriend's wondering at some point in the story, like, about the stop signs he ran or whatever.
How many stoplights did...
Secondhand stop lines.
How many stoplights?
Miss.
How many stop signs did you run?
Since you started messing up that line. The bigger story was that he abducted a woman and she buried that. That wasn't as important.
She was worried about the stop signs.
And then got into an altercation with the cops. And then there's an exchange when he's at jail with the girlfriend and the stalker, whatever that woman was, who eventually becomes the baby mama.
Yeah.
The woman with the mullet. And it was just weird. And for all you ladies and fellas, if you're interested, nudie butt Zac Efron. Twice?
I mean, if you want to get into the bad, shirtless Zac Efron again. At
one point, Haley Joel Osment asked, He works with Liz, who's the girlfriend. He's clearly interested.
Oh yeah.
And then she spirals because she's the one who
blew
the whistle on Ted. And at one point they're sitting around and he said, "Hey, Liz, what's your New Year's resolution?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, "Yeah, mine's to lose a few pounds." Why would he do that when he could just be on rounds? And there's a point in reality that Ted Bundy escaped prison twice. He escaped prison twice. Once he went into the mountains. Who knows who he killed?
For 6 days.
And
after he jumped out of a window.
And that was in Colorado or Utah? I think Utah. Then he does it again in Florida?
Yeah, where he
does end up killing, I think, 2 sorority girls and a younger girl, which doesn't quite fit his MO. Yeah. But, I mean, when you're crazy, you're crazy. Let's go into the bed. The fucking title. The title.
Oh, my God.
It's what the judge says to him at the trial, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's good." Oh, man, it's long.
But it's not good for a title.
I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I do love that. But at least that sort of rhymes. His girlfriend Liz is like so still into this and she's still hung up on him. And she's watching his trial like my father watched the O.J. Simpson trial. Like, I just wanted to watch a little bit of TV and here's O.J. And then they really harped on this Liz thing.
In real life, in actuality, I think your wife said that she wasn't actually that big of a deal in the whole case trials and the whole story of Ted Bundy.
I think they just tried to bring a different element into it. And that I did appreciate. Like, it wasn't your standard serial killer movie.
Where you follow him and see all the kills and,
yeah,
then you see him fooling everyone else.
They didn't glorify it. But for some reason, there's all these people that end up idolizing these people like Bonnie and Clyde and just these assholes that shoot up schools. Don't shoot up schools. Ugh. Stop being fucking stupid. Before I fucking smack you. I'm watching the movie and I'm like, why is she so sprung? It is Zac Efron.
I mean, there's that too. And it's the first guy she's had interested in her in a very long time.
Because she has a kid. It was long. The title's long. Yeah. It was okay. The end, they don't necessarily draw a conclusion on it. But, I guess they do. They have her talking to him and this isn't reality though. I think this is all just filler. She's talking to him and he's getting ready to confess that he killed all these people to these detectives
just so he can live longer.
Yeah, because he was just all about himself
and he was still playing the innocent card.
The one kill you do see is when she shows this photograph that was given to her by a detective, and I hated that detective's look, by the way. While we're on the band,
you're gonna hate the way he looks.
I guarantee it. So she looks at the photo and it's a decapitated woman. And she's like, give me something, Ted.
Well, she's like, what happened to her head, Ted? What happened to it? What did you do?
And he like writes hacksaw backwards on the
like perfectly too.
I know. I would have accidentally wrote it the wrong way. I've been like, ooh, my bad.
Get a mirror as a flashback and shows him.
Yeah, quickly though. It wasn't like very graphic. And so I thought it was interesting from that point that it didn't show everything.
They really portrayed it like he was actually innocent.
Yeah.
And just being a patsy pretty much for the whole case.
Yeah.
Like this one sheriff just wanted to get reelected. And I mean, they make light of that. But really the whole movie, it just makes it seem like he actually didn't do it when, in reality, there was way more duh.
They go home at some point and they're breaking dishes.
Well, is it home or is it a hotel?
They go somewhere. And they start breaking dishes, because who's not turned on by a man who was just arrested for aggravated kidnapping?
I mean, why not just break every plate in the room and all the glasses and the lamps?
Dishes are done, man. There's one part where he escapes out of the courthouse and clears the handicap ramp, which wasn't installed until more recently. But when on the initial shot, they show like an old news video. It's not there. But when he lands outside, there's the ramp.
And he
clears it.
Jumped out, what, like 10 feet?
He pulled a full Aladdin. He's got to stay one jump ahead of the law, man.
The second time he escapes from jail, he cuts out the light like that's in his room.
Yeah.
He cuts it out perfectly. He doesn't go a little bit in or a little bit out. He cuts it out perfect with the ceiling. Like the little square that's around the light fixture. Really? Well, the little circle, sorry. Not even a square, I don't think.
Circle meets a square. Circle, dot, dot. Now I get the cootie shot.
Close to the end. Right before him and Carol Ann hook up. They're talking in the little visiting area or whatever.
And throughout this movie, whenever he's in there and he gets a visitor, all I think of is Arrested Development. No touching! No touching.
But they're having some conversation. I think she's like offering to help him and be his voice to the public.
Because he has a gag order.
Right. He can't say anything, but there's nothing saying she can't. But they do this little roundabout shot of that whole conversation. And it's not even continuous. It's not just a guy walking around them the whole time. No, they have cuts in this continuous roundabout shot. And it is so disorienting.
It's weird. It's weird to not have that be a continuous shot.
Right.
final thought. Worth a watch if you want to watch it on Netflix, if you have that kind of curiosity.
If you like the whole serial killer thing, if you're one of the...
Don't call me baby.
I didn't have really any expectations for this thing. I knew it was going to be not quite documentary style, but, cheesy old school movie style. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I'd only score it a 5.
Oof. It wasn't the worst, and I thought Zac Efron carried his weight in this movie. But it missed. It missed for me. Zodiac is a long movie, and that's really enjoyable. Even though you don't necessarily get a conclusion, you get
you get a story.
You get something, and it's very creepy at times. And all Marvel in that movie, by the way. The Hulk, Iron Man, and Mysterio. I'd score this movie a 5.7 out of 10.
Ooh.
Check it out. Let us know what you thought. If you like this video, hit that like. Press that subscribe. And we will check you out next time. Only on Rounds of the Night's Table.